Hey, what's up, you guys? Nick Quintero here, and today's video is a request from my friend Jeremy Biggers, a super dope artist here in Dallas, and he wanted to know how I make my custom fonts in Illustrator. So I put together this video to show you exactly how I do it from start to finish using a couple of extra things that I found online to help. Let's go ahead and get started making this custom font. So I'm in Illustrator right now, and I have a new window open, and I found this image of this old, like hand-painted US Post Office sign here that I kind of want to loosely base this font off of. So usually whenever I start making a font, I either just kind of start drawing or I have a reference like this one. Sometimes it's a little bit closer. Like for instance, when I did the NAACP flag as a font, I did kind of trace those letters exactly to get started. But here I'm just kind of using this as a rough reference for the size and shape of some of these letters. Now there's not a lot of variance in this one, so it's really just there for some visual reference. I mean, I'm going to take a lot of liberties and do basically whatever I want with these. When I'm doing fonts from scratch, the first thing that I use is this little resource right here that I found on Creative Market called the Letter and Grid Builder. So I bought this bundle and I'll link it at the bottom of this video so that way you can find it too. Now, the thing I like the most about this is that it comes with brushes for Procreate, Photoshop, and Illustrator. And I usually do a lot of hand-drawn stuff in Procreate, so that's where I use this the most. But I'm gonna try the Illustrator Symbols for the first time here today. So let's go ahead and use this medium condensed version here. So basically, I'm gonna take this and create enough symbols for my entire alphabet before I start drawing here. Since I'm doing this in Illustrator, I'm probably going to make this one out of shapes just for the simplicity and speed while recording this video. So when I'm building a font like this, I usually start with the letters that have shapes that can be used to create more than one letter. Like for instance, an O can become a Q. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with the A here, just because I also think that's a pretty good starting point. It's usually pretty straightforward. So there's no A in here, but I'm going to go ahead and say, you know, maybe these will be rounded here on the top part. And that might be good enough for an A. So like I was saying before, you do want to start out with some basic shapes of these letters. So if I make an H, you know, this can also be used to create the I and the F and the E and all sorts of different letters just from the same similar starting points. Now, M's are a little bit tricky because they do end up a little wider than this symbol here. So actually, sometimes what I'll do is double up one of these and kind of drag it over so you see it has this more wide shape here, although that would be in, so I don't know why I did that. Let's do this. So sometimes I just start throwing things together and, you know, figure it out as I go. Now let's figure out what we're going to do for this O, because on this grid, they do have this nice, you know, round oval shape here that you can start with, but my reference doesn't have a completely circular O like that. It's a little bit more of a rounded rectangle, so I think I'm going to stick with that look. All right, so I think that's a good shape for our O here. Go ahead and knock it out. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and turn these back into some solid shapes so we can really see what we're working with here right now. So since I have this O ready, I can actually use it up here as my C. Sorry, I'm doing this very fast because I just want to show you some basic stuff without necessarily getting into every single little detail. But if you have any specific questions about actions I'm taking or things that I'm doing, leave a comment below and let me know if you want me to tell you how I did something specific during this video. Kind of looks like the Netflix logo right now. Ugh, I hate this. My last name starts with a Q, and I always struggle with the Qs. Drives me absolutely crazy. I may or may not have just sang the alphabet song in my head to make sure that I did this right. All right. So there's the basics of the capitalized letters here. Now, I could go in and maybe round out a couple more of these edges and corners and things depending on what I wanted, but I think for now this is pretty good. Now, I don't usually do lowercase letters, and I'm not going to do them on this one just because I think it looks cooler as a, all caps font here. You can see that on this one, they just kind of have like a bigger, taller version of the letters as the capitalization. So that's probably what I would do with this while I was using the font to create a design. But I am going to go ahead and throw in some punctuation just because I always find that I end up needing it later. And I think I can get away without doing it initially, and then I have to go back in and add it. And I really don't want to deal with that later. Let's pretend these don't look like absolute trash and move on. So now I'm going to show you exactly how I turned these crappy little drawings into a workable font file. So I use this great tool called Fontself. It's super easy, and it's actually built in as an extension in Illustrator. So I'll put a link below so that way you can get to that place very, very easily. And my favorite thing about using Fontself is that compared to other font software, it is so cheap. Like, buying a standalone font software package is going to be hundreds of dollars, but buying this extension to just use in Illustrator is only $50. It's so worth it. So it's very straightforward. You just go to their website, buy it. It has all the walkthrough for how to install it. And then once you have it installed, it'll be available here in Window Extensions, Fontself Maker. So now this will open up in Illustrator and you can do everything you need to do in here. Now there's a couple things that you need to make sure that you're doing before you start importing these characters into the Fontself Maker. And one of them is that you need to make sure that all of your characters are on the same line. So even though I developed them, stacked, I have to go back in and make sure that everything is on the same line, because this is how it's going to read these characters and know what's supposed to be what. Now, another thing is to make sure that you have all of these things either merged or grouped. Now, you'll probably remember like my E's, how these things are all separate. It doesn't really matter if you go to Pathfinder and merge them all, or if you just select them and group them. Now, another good reason to have these all on the same line is that I like to select all of these characters here and make sure that they are bottom aligned. Now, I'm going to have a problem with this Q because it goes down, so I'm going to deselect it, bottom align everything, and then I will just take this Q and top align it to my O, because I know that those are the same base shape. So you could also do the same thing with some of these items like your period and your exclamation point. You can bottom align those with your other letters. I'm going to center align my little hashtag with those letters. And then I'm going to top align my quotes with the letters as well. And my comma will top align to my period. Now everything should be aligned and spaced pretty much how I want it. Oh, I forgot to make numbers. Let's go ahead and do that real quick before I get into this. All right, there's some quick and easy numbers here. So now that I have this all ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and pop these into the Fontself Maker. So the first thing you'll notice here is that they have some quick buttons to create your glyphs. Now these are your uppercase alphabet, your lowercase alphabet, your numbers, and then I use this batch for my other characters, or also my punctuation and special characters. So I'm going to go ahead and select A through Z, and I'm going to press the A through Z uppercase button, and everything is going to auto populate into here, into the right character set that it's supposed to be with. Now I'm going to leave those selected and go ahead and press the lowercase A through Z because I know it's going to be the same. So now all of those are input in there as well. So you can already start to see that your design is taking over this alphabet that they have in here for the preview. So let's go ahead and grab the numbers as well and click the 0 through 9 button. Same deal there. And now I'm going to use the batch function for these few little characters that I made. So you might get this error where it thinks that they're across multiple lines because of the way the quotes and the period and comma are separated. So I click import anyway. And now it's going to ask you which one of these characters reflects what glyph. So if you click down here into the orange box, you'll see that it's just kind of a blank symbol. So I delete that and then I tell it that it's the exclamation point, and repeat that through each character and symbol that I've created. So now that I have all this together, let's look at some of the other options here. So we can manually adjust the letter space and line space of all of your font here, as well as the scale. But I typically don't start getting into any of this just yet. So I go over into advanced and just kind of take a look at this window because it has your font laid out in some preview dummy text just so you can see how everything lines up. And it'll also show you if you are missing symbols or if you did not import your uppercase and lowercase correctly. It's a really good way to just start seeing what is happening with your font. So if you look over here on the right, you'll start to get a glimpse of how everything is spaced and sized per each letter. But the beauty of Fontself lies in this wonderful button on the home screen called Smart. So basically what this is going to do is automatically adjust your spacing and kerning for all of your glyphs immediately. And it's so awesome. The earlier versions of this did not quite have this figured out. And so I had to go in manually and space and kern each one of these letters. So if we go back into the advanced section, you can see that you can actually come in here and manually kern and adjust these things. And I just absolutely don't want to do that. And I absolutely don't have to now, thanks to this smart button. So let's go ahead and click it and tell it to start the smart spacing and kerning. And it tells you that it just saved you 1 hour and 16 minutes of hard work. And that's incredible because now everything here just lines up perfectly. If we go back to advanced and see this preview, we can see that it lined up all of these letters and everything spaced in a way that just absolutely makes perfect sense. That's pretty much all you have to do. Once that's done, you can click the install button and it'll allow you to name your font. So let's go ahead and call this USPO Vintage. And now click save and save that font file wherever you want. And now you can go find that font. You can install it on your computer. You can send it to your friends for them to install it. You can put it on your favorite marketplace and sell it. And that is absolutely all you have to do. I love using Fontself because it just makes things so much easier. And I can worry about spending my time designing my fonts and making them look really good instead of having to worry about how much time it's going to take me to go in and get all of the kerning right, all of the spacing. And the best part about it is that you can still edit it after the fact. So if you don't like the way that they've spaced your letters, you can still go into the advanced tab. You can still open up each one of these characters and glyphs individually and adjust it. If you want to change the height and the space of it, you can absolutely do all of that stuff manually. And it really, really helps you figure things out. But it gives you an amazing starting space when you do it with the smart key. And I highly recommend doing that. So let me know if you have any questions about how to use Fontself. I've been using it for a couple of years now. I use it kind of in the simplest, most basic way. And it's done such a good job, and I'm super happy with it. All right, thank you guys for checking out this video. Let me know if you have any questions about anything that I missed or something specific that you wanted to see in the video in the comments below. And make sure you check out the links because I've linked to the Fontself software, to the letter builder on Creative Market. And of course, if you want to get a hold of the fonts that I've made, you can check out my Creative Market page, or you can go subscribe on Patreon. Subscribing for just $5 a month will get you access to all of my fonts that I create. I'm always creating new fonts, and you will always have access to them as long as you're a Patreon subscriber. All right, I appreciate all the support. Make sure you hit that subscribe button here on YouTube and click the little bell to be notified every time there's a new video. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next one.